truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. Hit like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Be cool, city lights shining so bright. Fine dining nights feels right. Flights to places far from sight. Get right, ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Underneath the neon glow, life is fast but take it slow. Every moment like a show. Let's go. Dancing through the night, we got energy flows we can't hide. Feel alive, we outside. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Stay cool.
Hey, nobody bigger than the program.
What's up, YouTube? Out with another dazzling topic. We're bringing it like none other. We are not born nothing. We're not holding shit back. Gentlemen, never compromise your peace. Either they're with you or they're against you. There is no in between. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Stand on business and be the man that you are. Do not let society shame you into compromising your peace. And all day, every day I hear, oh, Ruthless, why you don't think men should get married? Why you think men should be single? Why you think? Because I am looking at the information that's presented before me. I'm looking at also my anecdotal experience with multiple relationships. And I've come to the conclusion, and I'm only speaking for other men, but I'm also speaking for myself, that I would not settle for anything less than my peace. I am not going to no longer compromise, my happiness and my pleasure for someone else's problems. Listen, when I meet a woman, I get into a relationship, I ain't not signing up to be no motherfucking therapist. I'm not signing up to try to figure out your internal conflict. I sign up for specific functions as a boyfriend, potential husband. Simple. I provide, protect, correct. I make sure that there's a balance. And that's what I do. And I'm showing up every day as the man I can be. If a woman can't accept that, and baby, I need you to be my therapist. I need you to figure me out. I have to charge you a price for that, baby. Because I'm not getting paid enough for that. I didn't go to school for that. Do you know they pay professionals hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to sit there and figure you out? That is not part of my description. Because the moment I make that part of my description, now my peace has been hijacked. And yeah, I don't mind listening. I don't mind listening to your problems. I don't mind taking the time to, try to figure out things, if we can. But now, if you want me to sit there and tell me you're crying because of something and you don't want to hear my solutions, then when you get done, while you crying, you figure that shit out yourself then. Because you're not going to hijack my happiness. Now if somebody's disrespecting you, then okay, I'll take that sacrifice. I step in there. What's good? What's popping? What's good? But if you're just crying over some shit that have to do with your weight or have to do with the way your body looks or something that you're not happy with, and when I tell you that I'm happy with that I'm happy with the way you look, when I tell you that I'm happy, I love you for just who you are, and you can't accept that, then you have to figure that shit out yourself. You're going to have to figure out yourself. Because once again, I'm not going to compromise my peace. And I'm not going to let another person compromise my peace. If my peace is compromised by a male, then we're going to have to do something about it. Right? I'm going to cut him off. My fallback game is excellent. You're my homie and you compromise my peace. I'm falling back and I'm cutting you off. I'm falling all the way back like I never knew you before. And the same with the woman. Hey, we cool. I think you're beautiful. But if you compromise my peace, I'm out to my fallback game going to have to fall back. Gentlemen, we got to put ourselves first. We do. And there's nothing wrong with, having yourself as a priority. I understand that we do believe in family. I understand that we do, don't mind getting our hands dirty or feet wet, but not at the expense of our peace, especially when they're acting like they're against us. And we need to quit trying to teeter the line. Either they with us or they're against us. And that's the line we have to stand on. We got to stand on business. See, what a lot of women do, they corner men. They corner, and we go for it because we just want to make it work. And then within that situation, then our peace is then hijacked because now we're dealing with a lot of instability. And then a lot of us have to end up settling for less than our peace. And I just want to say to this, gentlemen, your mental health is wealth. Mental health is wealth. Your peace, there's no price for that. Now, happiness, we can be even. You don't have to be all a happy-go-lucky nigga all the time. You know what I mean? I understand that. But peace should be when you unite with a woman, she should be just as concerned about your peace as much as she's concerned about the household peace, right? And that means she needs to be acting in a manner where she's trying to help keep the peace, just like you're trying to help keep the peace. It takes two to make this shit work. And if she's not willing to, meet you halfway or match your energy, then maybe you're against me. Because if you're not taking into consideration my well-being, the guy who's paying all the shit, right? The guy who's, the reason in the house, and you're not considering my position, then you're against me. that means you're not with me. And if a woman doesn't take consideration that you have to evaluate, and you have to really think, like, is this woman really got my back? Because understand, nobody's perfect. Agreed. But that does not mean you can just compromise my peace as you will. We both have to have a level of respect for one another's well-being. This is not a one-sided type of deal. And if I got to be the one to always take the hit and my peace is hijacked and my mental health is compromised, I feel like it's time to do something different. This is the thing, right? If we love each other and we care about each other, this should be very simple. We shouldn't need no therapist. We shouldn't need to have a lot of conversations about this. We should talk about this shit maybe once a year. Maybe once every 2 years. If we really adore each other, if we really value each other, there should not be a whole bunch of chaos. I should not come home and be walking on eggshells. I mean, that's the least. And guess what? That doesn't cost a dime. So a lot of times we try to hang in there so that we can try to, hopefully it get back to or it settles itself down, which is fine. But just understand, if it doesn't get back to the place where you feel is suitable for you, gentlemen, you have to protect yourself. Men, we are providing protectors. Yes. But do we have to protect our women, our children? Yes. But we also got to protect ourselves as well. Because we're human. We have some emotions. We have things that bother us. We can be angry. Men can be depressed. We have to start protecting ourselves too. We got to protect our best interests. Because guess what? Who's going to keep the bills paid? Who's going to keep the lights on? Not her. That's going to be me. So I got to protect the best interest was me, the breadwinner, not only for her, but for me. Because I need to place a roof over my head. Because I'm not going to commit suicide for this woman. No way. Ain't nobody worth committing suicide over. I could just fall back game in effect. Because I don't believe a person that I love and that I'm providing for and that I'm sharing my resources with should ever compromise my peace. Now we can agree to disagree, understandably. But the respect level should remain the same. The respect level brings peace. When there is a large amount of respect, there's a large amount of peace. And where there's a large amount of peace, it's an easier time to get through, whatever situation that may come our way outside of our relationship. Whether the kids, when we're dealing with the kids' behavior issues, when we're dealing with, friends or family, when our house is in order, when me and my woman, we're uniting and we're in order, then we can take on the world. Then we can figure out how we're going to move as a unit. But I'm not trying to fight the world and my wife. I'm not trying to fight the world and my woman. I'm not trying to be yelling at my kids and my woman. Me and my woman have to be on the same page, united on all fronts to bring about stability and structure. We can't be divided. We can't be arguing about dumb shit. We can't do that. And have a healthy relationship, family, or marriage. It's just no way possible. And if you're not with me, bet you against me. And that's the only way, in my mind, I can see me, if I have to keep going through this shit over and over again, I got to do what's best. I got to do what's best for me. I got to put me first. I got to be selfish sometimes. So I got a video, and we're gonna show you how this is intoxicating, right? How this girl here, his fiance, this is her fiance, the girl on the left, Sarah, on the right, I mean. She's gonna ask him, this is gonna be a very hard question to ask about age gap, why he picked an older woman versus a younger woman. And this is what I mean by the women, they need to protect their man's peace too. They need to have our best interests. That means if they see that we're uncomfortable about something, they need to adapt and adjust too. Listen, I understand it's on the man to provide and protect for the most part, but it's also on the women to protect their man's interests as well. And if a woman sees her man uncomfortable or not, or feel a type of way, she needs to protect that. She needs to make sure that, oh, well, you know what? He might not be comfortable with that. You know, let's move on. Let's find something else to talk about. Because I want my man or my husband not to be feeling uncomfortable. Women have a duty to protect the man's interests as well. Now, we're not asking y'all to fight for us or, get out with nobody. But we do want you guys to have a sense of dedication to, okay, my man, if somebody disrespects my man, I'm not going to side with that. So we do need to have a unified interest. And that women do need to protect our interests as well. So if her best friend says something slick, she need to check that chick. Don't talk about my man. Right? Women need to have a sense of responsibility too. It ain't just all about them. It ain't just about me protecting her, but it's also her protecting our family. She need to, when I'm not around, she needs to make sure that she keep our name good. If a stranger come up to talk about, hey, what's good, sweetheart? You need to tell him I got a man, I got a husband, and he would not like this. That's a part of her protecting. You need to keep pushing. Well, how was your day? You don't need to know about my day. My husband asked me those things. And you're not that. And women, that's the protection women need to stand up under. If a nigga sniffing around at work, she need to tell him, keep it pushing. I'm going to have to report you. I don't need 2 husbands. I got 1 husband. I don't need a work husband. And this is why we are failing to realize that women need to show some responsibility for their own actions. She also needs the stuff that's our business, about our family, about our household. She needs to keep the information about our household inside the household. That is sensitive information. That is our privacy. That is her duty as well. And that's a form of protection. So we're going to listen to Sarah grill her fiance, and she going to have this nigga on pins and needles.
Attached to. You know, this age that we talked about, 37, is attached to Sarah. Like, it ain't too many of you at any age. So wherever you can get her at, you better take her. I just so happy to get you at 37. I would have took you at 27. I would have took you at, whenever I can get you. But
Which would
at
you
the same
prefer?
time, now that I have you at 37, the benefits of that, I would say you are wise.
Thank you.
You are, like, we talk about a lot of stuff, not just business wise, just, different experiences that you've had that maybe I haven't had and you can tell me about, or you really know yourself now. Like, I would never go for this, or I've already tried this before and I know I would never do that. So you know yourself so well, and the experiences that you coming with are like super valuable,
But why wouldn't you want a young woman who is malleable, like who you can form into whatever it is that you want?
Good follow-up, Sarah.
Why would you want a woman that's technically cooked?
She
Is there value in a woman that's cooked?
she applying the
Yeah,
pressure.
the value in your experience, the value in your connections, there's a lot of value in you.
Okay. Well, why not someone that's 27?
Well,
Don't they have value? Can't they have the same connections?
Connections take time, so and it's pros and cons with both, to be honest.
Tell me the cons.
The cons with a 27-year-old.
Now, see, she's grilling him. Why are you grilling him? Just move on. You see he's not comfortable. You see that he's really not, because he's basically probably with her because she's more business-minded and he feels that he needs somebody business-minded, so age ain't really the factor. But she's trying to dig, and she sees that he's uncomfortable, and she doesn't want to protect him while he's being uncomfortable by making him more uncomfortable. Now she's acting in her own selfish ambitions. And this is a type of thing that compromises peace. Because now this is stressed, like, damn. And obviously the way she's questioning, she seemed like she runs the relationship.
For both.
Oh,
Let's do 37.
Okay.
The cons in a 37-year-old.
okay. Watch them work.
Not necessarily you, but just a 37-year-old. You could be broken.
Now that is a trigger word. Woo-hoo. Women, they pounce on that. What you mean broken? She's 37. She said could be oh man, he's digging himself a hole.
Like I said, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about just a
Why
37-year-old.
would a 37-year-old be broken?
She could have been broken. She's been through so many heartbreaks. The guys that have done her wrong. She could be.
More.
Now I think that was a bad answer because how she haven't had her heart broken a lot. You don't know this woman for real. She hasn't told you everything, but this is him trying to make a circle fit in a square. And he's rushing. I guess their fiance, they were friends. And then I guess they hooked up. Post nut clarity, he asked her to marry him. He didn't really try to get to know her before, like really intimately. And so now he's treading and she's making sure he's uncomfortable and making some uncomfortable questions because she's a drill sergeant. Now he, talking about broken. No, women, that's a trigger word right there.
Baggage, less moldable.
Touche. Okay,
That's
do the
teaching.
healing. What if she's not broken? I don't know.
What if she's not broken?
I feel like a 27-year-old is more likely to be broken than a 37-year-old.
Why?
Because a 27-year-old is still figuring themselves out.
See, now she's dictating to him what he should be thinking. Well, I think that 27 is more broken than 37-year-old because she's obviously pandering for herself. But why would she say he just gave his answer to that? She could have her heart broken. She could be, more compromised, right, by bad experiences at 37 than 27. But now she turns around and says, well, no, I'm disagreeing with you, which she didn't necessarily have to do. But she said 27-year-old women are more broken the 37-year-old woman, which we know that's not true, right? The older, the more baggage they come with. You meet a woman at 37, she's going to have more baggage than a woman at 27. That's a fact. But she's trying to dictate the narrative. So you know she's the type of woman, if you get into a relationship with her, either she's the type that's going to speak her piece and you need to agree with it, or she's going eventually she's going to cut you off. And you need to take that ring back.
37-year-old, we know who we are. We're not getting broken anymore. I think,
I
as a
beg to
woman.
differ. I think a 27-year-old or 25-year-old, like, they haven't seen everything yet. They haven't experienced everything yet. So they don't think the world is, so dark. Because
Rose-colored glasses, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, right? Ill-experienced to the reality of human nature.
they haven't, had their heart broken as many times, whatever the case is. And, they probably have a easier outlook on what a man would do for them, or what a man, does he really love me? I think
Less requirements, less body count, less
when
babies.
you're older, sometimes you bring a lot of baggage.
Like what, kids?
I mean, kids is big, or just baggage as in just past traumas.
You don't feel like young women have past traumas?
They just don't have as many because they hadn't lived as long.
So what's their cons for young women?
A younger woman just being naive, being not as stable in life.
It kind of sounds like a 27-year-old is better. Because what I'm hearing, and y'all tell me if I'm crazy. I mean, I know you're not talking about me in particular, but it sounds like more older women come with baggage. They come with more trauma. Yes, they might have more stability, but that's not really something that men are seeking. And it sounds like younger women are more naive, which means they're probably more fun, which means they probably aren't so set inside of who they are, and they have more time to give you children.
All good points.
Right. So why would you choose me?
Right.
Let's take it out of general and make it into you and I, a 37-year-old over a 25-year-old.
Because it's you, Sarah.
No.
Nope.
I want to know.
Don't let them get
exactly what I'm
off.
saying. The age has nothing to do with it. I'm choosing Sarah. Like, I have to get you where I met you at.
Okay.
Okay. So for a woman, okay. So give me qualities of a me for women to say, okay, this is what I get to work on.
Now, this is her drilling this man. Why is she drilling her fiance? Just, okay, baby, cool. Now she want to get into more detail. She wants to know why 27-year-old is better than 37. Why you picking her? And da-da-da. She's making it more. She's trying to drill him for what? She wants to make it more spicy. She wants to get more views, more clicks. So she's willing to throw him under the bus and put him in a more uncomfortable situation to get her podcast off the ground, whatever it is, right? And this is, gentlemen, this is why we cannot let our peace be compromised. We cannot let these things go on. He should check that right there. I would have checked it right there. Look, I'm not really going to answer no more questions. I got to go. I'll talk to you later. And I'll probably block her. There's way too many women out here for me to have this woman sitting here and she see clearly that I'm uncomfortable. She see clearly that I'm not really trying to talk about this, but she keep pushing the line. That tells me in the future, if there's stuff that we're trying to move on from and trying to get on in the future, she's going to stay in that piece of shit at time. And, well, why did you look at that girl in the mall? What was so special? Why did you get her number? Oh, why did you not put the pot on the beans when I told you to remove the pot at this time? Why? Well, I won't talk about it. Well, we need to talk about this now. And that's the type of shit women do. I'm telling you, men, Do not compromise this. We have to be more selfish. I mean, we got to stand 10 toes down. I'm not going to talk about this, baby. And that's that. That's the final call. Matter of fact, it's over. But I don't think most men have the courage to do that to their women. And you know, I'm like, wow, is that happiness? Is that stoicism? Is that being a man? He should, right there, you could tell he wanted to tell her, I want this kind, I'm uncomfortable. Could you please move the question along? If not, I'm gonna have to leave. He got to set his foot down now. He got to let her know that if I say I'm not comfortable and this conversation needs to end, you need to comply or I'm going to fly. He got to set precedence now. And men, this is what we have to do in the beginning. If you meet a woman you like or whatever, you need to set precedence of who the fuck you is off the top and not compromise that. If you don't want a woman who's nagging you all the time, you need to set that off the top. Look, I don't want nobody who's nagging me and bothering me about dumb shit all the time. I don't want an overly emotional woman who's, you know, overly emotional at a high rate. I don't mind once in a while, but if it's every other day on vacation trips, you just ain't go to work. And we need to say this in the first 6 months. And men need to start setting precedents to let them know, I'm not going to let you compromise my peace. And then you need to finish it off as either you with me or you against me. Gangster. Stand on this shit. Either you with me or you against me, boo. We're not going to sit here and jog back. Look, I love you. I rock with you. But if you continue to make me feel disrespected, I'm going to have to fire you. I do not sign up to be with a woman to be at odds, to be in a war zone. I do not pick a woman to go to war with her. I pick a woman to love her and her to love me and reciprocate that energy at all times. Now, there are going to be some, once again, there are going to be some up and downs, but still, right? We don't have to be doing this shit every day or even every month. I think a healthy relationship, you should argue once, twice a year. If that. I think that's a healthy relationship. If you argue more than that, if you argue 2 to 3 times a day or 2 to 3 times a week, that's unhealthy, homie. And you're compromising your peace. Because every argument you have with that woman, win or lose, she gonna take it to her friends. Oh, baby, arguing here, right? And then they gonna, misery loves company. Oh, girl, you could do better. You know you the prize. Oh, girl, and then that shit's just gonna build up and build up and build up. If you have a true union with a woman, a true connection, you should argue no more than once or twice a year. And to me, I still think that's a lot, but give and take, right? Really, you ain't supposed to be arguing at all. We can have a disagreement, and the moment it seems like it's going a little left, both of you should be willing to walk away and come back and talk about it another time. And the man of the house who's paying the bills, who's paying all this shit, should have the final say. Okay, we're done with this. And she needs to comply.
So that whether you're 27 or 37, a man like you that has a ton of options and women literally do everything for you for nothing from you, which is crazy to me. How do they bag that man? Does that question make sense? Like,
It does make sense. This is a private conversation that is now being brought out. Now, I salute them for their bravery to be able to talk about this, right, and be subject to the comments based off of the interaction, right, and the reasons. The benefit of her being more experienced at 37 does not override the con of her being inexperienced at 27. But the poor brother has been put into an odd podcast conversation where it's about his future as well as his decision, while obviously being uncomfortable as hell speaking about this, right?
What a useful question.
Can you reword it maybe?
Like, for what, because the internet is weaponizing age and it's weaponizing singleness, and it's making women that are older feel like Paul Pierce says we're cooked, right? Once we hit 35, really 33, or really 30, once we hit 30, we're cooked, our eggs are dried up, we're no good, nobody wants us anymore, right? So why have you now, a man that has options, you have money, you have a huge house, you have investments, you're handsome, you're 6'7" 3/4, you got a lot of, you've surpassed the 4 6s, all of them, and there's way more than that, right? So why would you or someone like you that has options choose to lock in with someone that is older?
So I'm just gonna reword it a little bit. I'm choosing to lock in with Sarah, right?
Okay.
And
So how many times you gotta say it? He's age ain't up. You're an exception, not the rule. You can't figure that out. She keep asking the same question over and over again. He said it. Typically, he would go for a younger woman, but Sarah, because of the things he's seeing about her, and if she became fond of her, he made an exception, take an older woman who's more mature and more aligned with him psychologically. I picked that up immediately. That's what he's saying. But she wants to go back to the question again. So why? Because she says in her mind, you shouldn't want me, or you should be more clear, or you should tell me, look, no. He answered the question already, but she wanted to go back because she wants to fucking dog walk this nigga. And he is scared to check her, right? Obviously, because he doesn't want to tell her, hey, I'm uncomfortable. I answered the question already, and I'm not changing my answer. My answer is the same. See, and this is where men, in my opinion, we take a back seat a lot to frustrated things that women do. Because we become avoidants. And this shit hijacks our moments. And this is problematic. If I say, answer the question one motherfucking time, I ain't changing my answer. And you need to get it.
And what do you do for me? What makes me choose you over anybody else?
Yes.
It's the way you make me feel, like when we together. Just how rare you are, even though the age, having no kids, the life lessons, that you've demonstrated to me just, in a time that we've been together. I just know that with us together, like how stronger I'm going to become because of you. Like the motivation, like the push to.
Now this nigga, now he's sipping. So let's go to another thing, because he just got crushed, right? She broke him. She broke him. She compromised his comfortability, and then she broke him. So I got another video we're going to watch. This is Anton Daniel. It's a pretty good video. And this is going to show, women, how they feel about men, and why we got to stay being great despite the hate.
So let me say this. Wow. How many PlayStations have you bought?
I bought a lot of them, and Xboxes, and GameCubes, and Wii's, all types.
Because you mentioned that with a passion.
Man, look, it's something that we all done went through. We all just don't speak on it.
We
all done dated women with kids, and we all done got the short end of the stick. It's just we all deal with it in different ways. Some of us speak out on it, some of us don't. They always get the bigger end
Some
of
of
the
the
stick.
stuff that you said, I feel like you're talking out of hurt. So that's just me.
I ain't talking out of hurt. You see that these men ain't
That's just what
disagreeing.
I think.
Then why don't one man disagree with it?
Cause you're the only person talking, really.
Do
To
any
be honest.
man disagree with what I have said so far? Speak now. If you do, it's fine.
Hey, don't put me in this.
No, I'm for real. I said any man.
I'm
staying out the way. I'm staying out of this one.
Who is this young Padawan that is over here kicking knowledge, spitting game, and schooling these people that's on this panel? But that's not even the real issue that we're looking at here. You know what the biggest issue is? Let me rewind it for y'all so that y'all can see it for yourself.
Any man disagree with what I have said so far? Speak now. If you do, it's fine.
Hey, don't put me in this.
No, I'm for real. I said any man.
I'm staying out the way.
That is the problem right there. That is the problem, is because people are so concerned with saying the right thing and being politically correct. And then ultimately, basically, most of us got boxalitis, meaning that they'll do anything for box, not realizing that the box come with it. And it really don't matter. The more masculine you are, the more you're going to get box anyway. But the real problem is the simp force, is that guys are so afraid to actually tell the truth. And they left that guy on an island by himself. And I'm always going to link back to the content creator, so the link will be in the description. But they left this guy on the island by himself, even though he's spitting facts 100 times out of 100 times. I tell guys on a regular basis, and you know my shtick, I would never tell anybody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And so I'm never going to advocate for a guy to get involved with a single mother when it's not conducive or beneficial for him. And so he said that a lot of guys have dealt with single mothers and they have all gotten the short end of the stick. And, you know, he was basically breaking down at the fact that you can't tell me what I can and can't do, especially when it comes to having fun. And let me say this other part while I got it on my mind. Because I used to be in my youth a gamer, right? Meaning that I had extra time, so I would jump on the Xbox Live or whatever, so on and so forth. Why don't women want guys that game? And I understand that y'all want guys that's productive, but what makes you think that him being in the house is better than him being in the streets? And if he's out here gaming, that means that you know where he is, versus him spending his extra time actually out here in the streets and you don't know what's going on. I don't understand that, right? Because even though I'm not a gamer, I understood that, you know, that for me, when I was younger and I started to play games, that was a way for me to stay in the house and not spend no money on anything that I didn't feel like was adding value into my life. And so instead of going outside and it costing me money, I would stay in the crib and then play games or whatever, which I then changed that because obviously my time is more valuable, so I don't have time to play games now. But my point is when you're talking about regular everyday people and a guy coming home and playing games, what makes y'all think that just because when he's not and he's in the streets that he's being more productive, or if he's not on the game that he's going to be sitting up laid up under you? That's not a realistic scenario, and women really need to get that out of their heads. Like if he's at the crib chilling, you probably need to figure out either how to give him some peace and some space for him to enjoy himself, or you need to take an interest in what he's doing because you don't want the alternative. I'm just going to tell you straight up. You really don't want the alternative. And these even guys that's not doing nothing crazy, because I'm not saying that just because you got the alternative that the guy's doing something crazy. But what I am saying is that you not prepared for the fact that he ain't really checking for you. And if he focused even more on his purpose, then that's going to take away even more time that he would have normally allocated for you if he was just playing for the game and then he got off and then he wanted to just kick it in slow motion. A lot of guys just do this as a way to take a load off, whereas they used to watch.
I 100% agree with Anton Daniels on this. Rufus supports this message. If your man, if we want to play the motherfucking Xbox, when we get home, we want to play the motherfucking Xbox. I don't want to hear anything. I don't need you to ask me why am I playing Xbox? Because I want to. Can we talk like that though? Can you really say that? If you can't talk like that, you lose. Matter of fact, for my woman to even question my leisure time, she is stepping on my boundaries. For her to even question why I'm doing anything that I love to do is a problem. That's a problem. It's either you with me or you're against me.
Watch the game now. Now most times they play the game or whatever. But you know where he at. He at the crib, and so he ain't out here in these streets, and that should be enough for you. But you don't see that. But let's get back to the clip because I want to get to the rest of this, and I want to see the rest of this before I comment. These guys is always leaving dudes out on the island so that they can step out.
I'm staying out of this one. I'm staying out the way on that. So yeah, some of it is legit.
If I'm honest,
I'm ready for this.
I'm with him, but I'm not with him. Let me tell you why I'm with him. Some of the things that he's saying makes sense, but I think that when you get with the right woman, you guys communicate, then everything can go the way he's saying.
Love it.
So like I think he's referring to a submissive woman. And I think that you have to communicate with the woman on a certain level to find out if she is submissive, and then he'll get everything he's talking about. But
You're never going to find out whether a woman is.
Now see how nice you gotta be. We need to check in, niggas. What you saying, nigga? Nigga, you said we got to check in, nigga. We need to check in first to see if she's submissive. What he's really saying, you gotta check in to see if she's okay with it. Check yourself, nigga. Check yourself. That's what he's saying. He's saying you need to make sure she's okay with what you love to do. And that's what he's asking. What the fuck? And this is what makes us motherfucker lose this gender war. This is why we lose this gender war. Because we don't want to stand on shit. Because we worried about if she leave. We worried about, is she going to get rid of you? And understandably, it's difficult to find someone to be around you all the time, that you want around you all the time. But you can't act as desperate. You can't be scared to stand on who you are. You can't let your peace be compromised. This is not valuable. This is not what is conducive to a healthy relationship. Because check it out, we already compromised paying for the bills. She wasn't asking why you spending the money on these motherfucking dinners. Let me chip in. She wasn't asking, hey, why you paying for all these parks? We can just stay at home and Netflix and chill. She wasn't also asking me, well, you don't have to be a provider. You don't have to be a protector. That's the demand. Those are expectations. And she wants monogamy. Fine. If I'm going to give you monogamy, okay. And I'm going to be a provider and protector and a motherfucking therapist. If I want to play video games, I'm going to play video games. And don't fucking bother me until I'm done. We got to stand on business. If you can't stand up for yourself, who's going to stand up for you? Let me rewind this again. Let's look at this again.
I mean, how many PlayStations have you bought?
I bought a lot of them, and Xboxes, and GameCubes, and Wii's, all types.
Because you mentioned that with a passion.
Man, look, it's something that we all done went through. We all just don't speak on it.
We
all done dated women with kids, and we all done got the short end of the stick.
You dated women with kids and got the short end of the stick. What's up, Lord ADS? Who can check me, boo? But yeah, he's a single man who dated a baby mama. And he's expressing how they came up with the short end of the stick. Because most likely, all of them had a conversation in the back before they came out. That, yeah, I was a sing, I was a stepdaddy. Woo, 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 I was a stepdaddy, and that shit went bad for me. Woo, it didn't work out. So he's speaking probably to a conversation they had in the back before the show started. And then when he stood on 10 toes, they left him on the island. Don't put me in it. Take me out of it. So that's another reason why men are losing the gender war, because we don't have each other's back. We throw each other under the bus like it ain't shit. So, I'm saying this. Fuck the gender war. Live your best life. Live your best life. Do not find no woman to live for. If you're going to find a woman, make sure she's returning the same energy you're giving. And a deal breaker is, right, your peace will not be compromised. And you need to stand on it. Either she's with you or she's against you. We can't continue to make excuses for these women. We can't. Every motherfucking week. And we can't continue to beg them and explain to them what the fuck we want. Women know what we want. One thing about a woman, she know how to get a relationship. She know everything to do to get a man. And she know how to keep a man if she really want to. But the point is, the whole truth of the matter is once they get you, they're ready for you to go. Once they start acting out, once they start being indifferent and all this old weird shit, that means they're ready to get rid of you. That means she wants you to go. Because think about it. She go to that job every motherfucking day. Sometimes she hate her job. Sometimes she can't stand her boss. Sometimes she can't stand co-workers. But yet she still put up with it. She put on a smile because she values the money that job can give her more than the man, even though he's giving her money too. But she feels the money she gets from that job gives her independence from you while she's with you. And the moment you do not meet what she requires, she's with that job and her going to dismiss you. And men who play Xboxes, video games, they women coming in and arguing about them playing video games. They talking about they doing this, they do that too much. You got to get rid of them. Women are expendable. Let me say that. They are expendable. But my peace is not expendable. My peace and my comfort and my mental health is not expendable. But a woman is expendable. If you don't think she is, she's going to make sure she lets you know she's expendable. Because she's going to leave you anyway if you don't acquiesce. We got to stand on something. Like, fuck it. Right? We can't keep letting these women bully the house, man. That's crazy. I hate to say this, man. These women are bullying.
It's just we all deal with it in different ways. Some of us speak out on it, some of us don't. They always get the bigger end.
Some of the stuff that you said, I feel like I'm talking out of hurt. That's just me.
I'm talking out of hurt. You see that these men ain't
That's just what
disagreeing.
I think.
Then why?
And you see how these women just running their mouth. They don't give a fuck about him speaking his truth. And why do we got to sit there and explain to them about our truth? Fuck them. he should have got up and walked out. Now, I mean, unless they're paying me like $10,000 to be there, then yeah. I stayed there and argued that. I argue until the sun come up for 10 bands or 5,000 even. Or even a band, shit, fuck it. But if you're not paying me, at the moment I see that these women are out of line or trying to overtalk me, I'm out of here. I'm getting up. I'm leaving. Y'all notice these women don't come up to Ruthless platform trying to talk shit? Right? Because they know. They know not to come over here disrespecting. I will drop them chicks so fast, they weave gonna come out. They weave will come out. I'll drop them so fast. The moment they get name calling, talking about who hurt you, all that, I'm not going for none of that. Because I don't need a woman. I love women, but I don't need them. I don't mind having them on the panel. I don't mind hearing their opinions. But I do demand that respect level to stay intact. Because I don't fought too hard for my respect. And I'm not about to give it to nobody to just run all over and run into the ground. I know you're a woman, but that don't mean I'm gonna sit here and just allow you to disrespect me. I'm gonna have my fallback game. I'm gonna have to fall back. I'm gonna have to fall back. Because I'm not gonna let you compromise my peace. Because any woman that is willing to argue with you, or I would say if she's willing to, I would say, go against your thought process on what you think things should be, is against you. She's not with you.
I don't one man disagree with.
Because you're the only person talking, really.
Do
to
any
be honest.
man disagree with what I have said so far? Speak now. If you do, it's fine.
Hey, don't put me in this.
No, I'm for real. I said it.
So don't put me in it. Don't put me in it.
Any
Hey,
man.
I'm staying out the way.
Hey, I'm staying out of this one.
Who is this young Padawan that is over here kicking knowledge, spitting game, and schooling these people that's on this panel? But that's not even the real issue that we're looking at here. You know what the biggest issue is? Let me rewind it for y'all so that y'all can see it for yourself.
Any man disagree with what I have said so far? Speak now. If you do, it's fine.
Hey, don't put me in this.
No, I'm for real. I said any
Hey,
man.
I'm staying out the way.
Hey,
That is the problem right there. That is the problem, is because people are so concerned with saying the right thing and being politically correct. And then ultimately, basically, most of us got boxelitis, meaning that they'll do anything for box, not realizing that the box come with it. And it really don't matter. The more masculine you are, the more you're going to get box anyway. But the real problem is the simp force, is that guys are so afraid to actually tell the truth. And they left that guy on an island by himself. And I'm always going to link back to the content creator, so the link will be in the description. But they left this guy on the island by himself, even though he's spitting facts 100 times out of 100 times. I tell guys on a regular basis, and you know my shtick, I would never tell anybody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And so I'm never going to advocate for a guy to get involved with a single mother when it's not conducive or beneficial for him. And so he said that a lot of guys have dealt with single mothers and they have all gotten the short end of the stick. And, you know, he was basically breaking down that the fact that you can't tell me what I can and can't do, especially when it comes to having fun. And let me say this other part while I got it on my mind. Because I used to be in my youth a gamer, right? Meaning that I had extra time, so I would jump on the Xbox Live or whatever, so on and so forth. Why don't women want guys that game? And I understand that y'all want guys that's productive, but what makes you think that him being in the house is better than him being in the streets? And if he's out here gaming, that means that you know where he is, versus him spending his extra time actually out here in the streets and you don't know what's going on. I don't understand that, right? Because even though I'm not a gamer, I understood that, you know, that For me, when I was younger and I started to play games, that was a way for me to stay in the house and not spend no money on anything that I didn't feel like was adding value into my life. And so instead of going outside and it costing me money, I would stay in the crib and then play games or whatever, which I then changed that because obviously my time is more valuable. So I don't have time to play games now. But my point is when you're talking about regular everyday people and a guy coming home and playing games, what makes y'all think that just because when he's not and he's in the streets that he's being more productive, or if he's not on the game that he's going to be sitting up laid up under you? That's not a realistic scenario, and women really need to get that out of their heads. Like, if he's at the crib chilling, you probably need to figure out either how to give him some peace and some space for him to enjoy himself, or you need to take an interest in what he's doing, because you don't want the alternative. I'm just going to tell you straight up. You really don't want the alternative. And these even guys that's not doing nothing crazy, because I'm not saying that just because you got the alternative that the guy's doing something crazy. But what I am saying is that you not prepared for the fact that he ain't really checking for you. And if he focused even more on his purpose, then that's going to take away even more time that he would have normally allocated for you if he was just playing for the game and then he got off and then he wanted to just kick it in slow motion. A lot of guys just do this as a way to take a load off. Whereas they used to watch the game, now most times they play the game or whatever, but you know where he at the crib, and so he ain't out here in these streets, and that should be enough for you, but you don't see that. But let's get back to the clip, because I want to get to the rest of this, and I want to see the rest of this before I comment. These guys is always leaving dudes out on the island so that they can simp out.
I'm staying out of this
staying
one.
out the way. I'm staying out the way on that.
You
So
know,
yeah, some of it
if-
is legit.
If I'm honest,
I'm ready for this.
I'm with him, but I'm not with him. Let me tell you why I'm with him. Some of the things that he's saying makes sense, but I think that when you get with the right woman, you guys communicate, then everything can go the way he's saying.
Love it.
So like I think he's referring to a submissive woman. And I think that you have to communicate with the woman on a certain level to find out if she is submissive, and then he'll get everything he's talking about. But
You're never going to find out whether a woman is submissive by communication. That's not how the game go.
not dealing with submissive women. He's just dealing with, I don't know, because
I'm dealing with women that's
So,
manipulative. Like
yeah,
women
he dealing with the wrong
nowadays, they
kinds.
only want to be submissive when it fits them. They'll be submissive when
Cook.
we're going on trips and when I'm paying the rent.
Cook.
Whenever their car break down, I'm getting it fixed. And whenever everything else is going good. When I tell you don't go to the club, it's a problem. You submissive whenever you want to be. But whenever I tell you to do something you don't want to do, now you're no longer submissive. That's not going for me. It's not going for
I
me.
can't lie to you. He got some truth in there.
That's true. That's true.
I'm gonna keep it a buck
He ain't saying
because
shit wrong with that.
Oh, now they want to start to bandwagon him. No, you tried to leave him out on an island. Let the young Patty Wan cook. He already in the kitchen. He got the steak grilling. He got the oil running. He already doing his thing. He don't need no co-signers no more.
But what I noticed, I'm noticing that more so in the generation that came before me, the 30 and down. The ones that's around my age and up, they're a little better. But you know, them young ones, they've been having a little issues, you know. They do all of it, and then no offense, baby, but it's too much of the snapbacks of the hands and all that extra. But like you said, when you're doing for them, everything good. But,
Too much
so
talking back.
I might be rich on this a little bit.
They're not letting us lead.
Yeah,
We
it's
need
kinda-
to be able to lead, but how can I lead a woman who every time I say something, she got something to say back? So you get in a relationship with a man who you feel like gonna do better by you and get you in a better place in life, but you don't want to listen to him. Why are you with him then?
I can't listen to a man or be led by a man that's gonna lead me into darkness. If
That's
I
right.
see off rip that you finna lead me into some BS,
But why would you be with him in the first place is what he's saying. I don't even think that these women are paying attention to what he's cooking up. Cook, young man, cook.
I'm not. Then now let me take the reins. I'm gonna have to take the reins to be masculine. Don't no woman wants to be masculine.
Go pick
Listen,
better
hold
men
on.
today.
Listen,
What?
no women wants to be masculine. We
Well
all
picked.
desire to be in our feminine.
No, he's 100% right. And again, this is the need to respond. And so they're looking to respond instead of looking to understand. And he said, well, then get with a certain type of dude that you want to be with. But don't ever pick a man and then start to question his masculinity talking about, I need to lead. That is the fastest way to get your ass on a plane and shit back to wherever it is that you came from. I'm 100% with him. I'm 100% with him. I am definitely going to link back to the content creator to make sure that I give credit because it's always the right thing to do. But he's right. He's 100% right. You can't have conditional femininity. That just means that you're a chameleon and you serving your particular purpose. Let me say it again for the people in the back. It means that you're a chameleon and it's serving a purpose. Don't switch up and then have it be conditional because I'm going to conditionally rock with you and then conditionally get you out of there when it's not serving me. That is the thing. Women have the luxury of being able to rock with a guy based off of however they feel about him at that particular time. And on the flip side, you know, men a lot of times have to subject themselves to it out of loyalty because they stick around longer and they feel some level of obligation.
And that's where good afternoon, Miss Lady Zyrax, chat gang. I enjoy you pushing back, Lady Zyrax. We are still looking for that conversation about emotional intelligence with you. But bottom line, man, I agree with Anton Daniels, and I agree with the gentleman who was talking that. But how I'm going to put it in this way is this, right? Because I'm not going to go all in detail. Every relationship has to be two people that's willing to deal with each other on a emotional and social level that's respectable. I can't hammer this enough time alone. See, with men, our baseline is respect. That's love to us. When a woman shows respect and appreciation, we value that. Right? And we make it easy for the woman to show this by spending money on them, by listening to them, investing our time into them. And within this setting that we're giving, I would say men set the stage by taking you to nice restaurants, taking you to, amusement park, doing these different things with you to let you know that you're important. You guys seem to devalue these things and let them hijack for the things you want. You want to be the center of attention, but you don't want the one to be the center of paying the bills. Women hate to pay bills, and especially they hate to pay a man's bills. That's even worse. Women love to pay, they hate to pay their own bills, right? But they'll tolerate that. But they hate and they despise to pay a man's bills, which we're not asking that from y'all. But we just know that you guys hate to do things for us monetarily. So therefore, all we asking back from you is to respect. Respect my gangster. Respect my peace. And us men need to stop compromising this. We need to stop trying to take a back seat. And this is where the problems are coming, because a lot of us men, granted, we turn a blind eye to a lot of shit because we really like the girl. But this isn't making the relationship better. It ain't making us better. We need to stand on business. My woman should never ever question me about, what I love to do. Because if you don't like what I do, you're going to have to hit the eject button. Yes, women are. Thank you, ladies. I rock. Women are becoming more ungrateful and unappreciative. Because why? Because why? They becoming more self-centered. And they don't want to, go above and beyond for their man. They don't want to really do much for their man. But guess what? Men don't really ask that much for y'all. That's even make it worse, right? Men are simple. We're simple. 2 or 3 things. If you can get 2 of the 3, we'll try to ride out with you. But y'all want 6 or 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 things. And if we miss one of them, y'all ready to jump ship. So there has to be a balance. Gentlemen, we can't let our peace be compromised. That is a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker. We have to, be able to have a peaceful mindset when we come home to deal with the people we love. My house should not be a war zone. That's the deal breaker. My house will not be a war zone. It will be a place where we could come in. Now, it ain't got to be like, Disney happy all the time. But it can't be no hostile environment either. The level of respect needs to remain intact. And see, we always got these type of niggas here, right? Talking about he won't respect that he doesn't qualify for. Oh, I'll take my respect in life from men. Nigga disrespect me, I'll bust him upside his shit. Nigga disrespect me, I might bust you upside your shit. I'm gonna take my respect, nigga. Gangster. Don't answer me when I qualify for, nigga. How you sound, nigga? And this is the type of niggas, these type of soft niggas is the niggas that, they think disrespect is respect. Talking about what we qualify. Nigga, everybody qualify for amount of respect. Especially if you love each other. Both of y'all qualify for respect, no matter what happens. I don't give a fuck if you fuck 50 women. You need to keep that respect in line. The respect level has to be in line at all motherfucking times for it to be balanced. Because if you don't respect me, then eject yourself. Like y'all been doing. Y'all been doing it. I'll give y'all that. The divorce rates are pretty high. 800-some thousand a year. That's a large number. So y'all been doing it. And stick with what y'all doing. But as men, we have to stop acting like we need women. We don't need them. We love them, but we don't need them. We can live without them. At least we can live without them not being around them every day. We can have women, we can still date and deal with them on a short-term basis. But we don't need them to be there every day. We don't need a woman to be in our life every fucking second to be, happy or to be productive. A man value, he is great with or without a woman. A man can be great with or without a woman. So whether she is a good wife, a man's still gonna be great. Is she a bad wife, a man's still gonna be great. Yeah. A woman does not make us great. She don't. All she is a beneficiary of our greatness. We, as men, stand 10 toes down. We are valuable no matter what. Some homies Police officers, some homies are. Firefighters, some homies are. Sports players, some homies are. Electricians, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And all these things are important part of maintaining society. So men are valuable with or without women. We don't have to have a woman to be valuable. And that's what we need to get out of our fucking heads. Now, I'm not saying we don't want women for the pleasures which we enjoy, but we don't. If she's gonna compromise our peace, and she's gonna not take in consideration our well-being, nigga, she got to go. Because there ain't no way that a woman say she love you or care about you or appreciate you shouldn't be concerned with your mental health, because mental health is wealth. Ain't no way. Ain't no way she should be concerned with your well-being. That she should protect your interests of peace and harmony. When you come home, she should be ready to understand that when my man get home or my husband gets home, I need to make sure if I have any issues, if there's something it can wait. And some of that shit, you know what? If you let the toilet start, just put the damn toilet down. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to make a big deal about that because he's paying the mortgage. Fuck, man, I don't want to pay it. I don't want to pay it. Women hate paying bills. They do. A lot of them pay bills just to try to prove that they're independent or that they can make it. But really inside, they hate to give up the part for their money. They hate it. That's why they get with men. And that's why they have all these expectations for men to do these things. Because they want a man to come in to do the things they hate to do. But they don't want to do the things that make us adore them. Right? They don't want to cater to us. They will take, but they don't want to give. Reciprocity has to be the standard. And that comes with not compromising your peace. Either they're with you or they're motherfucking against you. And we cannot compromise this stance. Because it seems like because that we're trying to turn the other cheek, they're still divorcing. They're still complaining. A lot of men, peace have been compromised and they take the shit and the woman is still leaving them, still fucking the guy at work. She's still taking the family business and talking to strangers, forging a relationship with strange men and women. She's still telling her family members the one-sided story. She never tells them the whole story. She never tells them the whole truth. She tells them half-truths so that she can look good and you look like shit. Women are doing this at a high rate. They're taking the family business and putting it on wax so the world to see. They're even going on social media and putting their family business on social media now. And that is dishonorable. Any woman that takes family business and put it in the streets is dishonorable and disenchanted. And all she's doing is creating problems in the house. All she's doing is putting herself first and her selfish ambitions. She ain't putting the family first. She don't even care about the kids. Or if they might find out, she don't care. And this is how women are carrying. This is the way they feel. They feel they need to do what's best for them, not what's for the family. That's why I don't understand why the courts give them the kids right away. I think it should go in as a equal and then find out who's more capable. And I believe whoever makes the most money should get the kids. That's the way I believe. Whoever is the most suitor through cycle, they should have if the divorce is in hand, I think the court should say, okay, both of you are going to have a psychic evaluation. We're going to vote. Courts are going to evaluate the financial position. And whoever the courts deem is more responsible or more equipped gets the kids, which is most likely going to be the man. Or if worst case scenario, it's 50-50 custody. And both of y'all are get kids half and half. Period. At worst case scenario. I don't think the women should automatically get the kids. I don't think women should automatically get child support. If she's sabotaging that home, there needs to be investigations into these women. They need to open up investigation of these women in these marriages. The government needs to take a long look at these women's actions. Are they sabotaging intentionally? They need to make women come with evidence and prove. They need to make women come with evidence and prove that they're leaving for a good reason. And then they still need to be evaluated. I think every man deserves a fair trial in the courts. I don't think automatically, oh, she's a woman, she needs this, get that, get this, get that. Because if the investigation concludes that she's the problem, if the investigation concludes that she's out being promiscuous, if the investigation concludes that she's sabotaging this after they conduct a professional investigation, then she needs to give up those kids and pay child support. She needs to have consequences for her actions. If the courts deem them unreasonable, diabolical, after the investigation, the court concludes that this woman has intentionally sabotaged this home, she needs to render the kids and pay child support. It shouldn't be, oh, she just get the kids. No. If you're going to ruin a relationship, a marriage particularly, intentionally, then there should be consequences for that. These court custody cases for children need to be revamped, need to be redone. I don't think women should just be getting money like that. If you're a stay-at-home mom and you got caught cheating, fucking the pool boy, you don't get no alimony. And you don't get the kids. Matter of fact, what you came with, you leave with. Get it out the mud. We have to stop. These courts need to be redone. They need to tear that shit down. And then they have 50% of men, 50% of women come up with something that's reasonable and that to hold the man and the woman accountable equally. And it needs to be, once again, an investigation. She can't just show up and say, oh, I'm filing divorce papers, and automatically she gets full custody. No. No. This is something that needs to be investigated. So you're going to have to wait And then we need to go out and put investigators out to ask all the right questions. And it needs to be a level playing field. She shouldn't be automatically awarded those kids. No way. She needs to go through a psychic evaluation. He needs to go through a psychic evaluation. They both need to be evaluated to see who's the better or more capable. And then we look at if she's sabotaging it or if he's sabotaging it, then there needs to be retribution. And that will be fair. If he's out of line, if he's doing shit to mess it up, bam, consequences. She gets the kids. You're going to pay child support and maybe alimony. If she does it, if she's walking because she feels like walking and she's sabotaging that house due to her emotional instability, and after a psychic evaluation and she's deemed emotionally unstable, rip them kids from her and put her on child support. We as gentlemen, we compromise our peace because we try to show understanding and patience. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. No, because it's not working. It's not working. 820,000 divorces a year filed by women is enough information to say it's not working, nigga. You got to stand on what you stand on. Cannot let your peace be compromised. For the sake of what? You let your peace be compromised for the sake of a burning house that's going to burn to the ground? We got to stand on business. Now, I love my women. Hey, we love you, woo. We love you, boo-boo. But if you can't align, if you cannot comply, you got to fly. Bottom line. There's got to be we got to be unified as a couple to make this work. I cannot have you going against me. I cannot have my woman or wife going against me at no time. If she can be loyal to that job, if she can fight for that job and protect the best interests of her job, she can protect the best interests of this motherfucking house. Gangster. If she can do all that extra shit for her job, she needs to protect the interests of this house. She needs to protect the interests of her husband as well. Especially if she's a stay-home mom. You need to protect the interests of your husband at all times. You don't need to be complaining to him every motherfucking day. Keep that shit to yourself. Matter of fact, let that shit go. It ain't that bad. There's a lot worse things going on out here, and you worried about some petty ass shit. Most of y'all women are petty. But you know what? I'm petty too. So we both gonna be petty, and I mean we gotta go our separate ways. Because I am not gonna live in a divided house. Ain't no way. But most of you women are petty. And because most of y'all are petty, this is why you guys will lead the divorce rate. This is why you guys are leaving the most. This is why most niggas is happy wife, happy life. Because they know you're going to leave if they don't submit to whatever it is you say. You women know what y'all doing. Y'all ain't stupid. Boo, we know you smart. Boo, we know you smart, boo. We know you intellectual. We know you got this superior line of thinking, boo. We know you got that college degree, or we know you came out of high school straight A's. We know you understand who you are, boo. But we also understand you know the difference between right and wrong. We also understand you need to learn to forgive shit and let it go. You need to show appreciation. You need to be appreciative. You need to appreciate that I ain't out here leaving you for all these bunch of women. I know you got options, but I got options too, boo. Y'all need to show some appreciation that you'll get your bills paid. Your ungrateful heifers. All y'all want to do is complain and cry. Oh, I do. What? No. And I'm tired of people making excuses for you women. Fuck that. Y'all got to own up to y'all responsibility as adults. Y'all are not children. Women are not children. Women are not little kids. They understand right and wrong. They understand respect. They understand loyalty. They understand compromise. They understand all the things we understand. They just don't give a fuck. They know how to cater to their man. They know how to run their man's bathwater. They know if they did that, he would love that. They know if they took off his shoes, he would love that. They know this. Women don't listen. Women, they know everything to make their man happy, but they just don't give a fuck to do it. And men, we have to start standing on not compromising our peace for them. We have to stand on what makes us happy and what makes us feel comfortable. And either they with us or they're against us. If they with us, let's do this. If they're against us, you got to go. We cannot be scared to stand up for what we believe in as men. Especially when we're paying all this motherfucking money. The fuck? If women can't do the free shit to make the shit work, why we gotta do all the expensive shit to make the shit work? Fuck that. If I'm paying for all this shit and you can't comply, and you're not giving me a return on my investment, because the return on my investment is I want peace at home. I just want to come home and I don't want to argue. And when I'm horny, I want to knock the boots. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want excuses. When I come home, I just want to, sometimes, I don't want to hear a bunch of negative shit. That shit can wait till another time. Sometimes I want to come home, kick my shoes off, jump in the hot bath water that you made, and enjoy myself. So that's all I want to do. So I got another video. I'll bring up. This is the Untouchables. It's just another video that we're gonna break down and see what we can learn from it.
Let's listen if that's what we said, right? Let's listen.
Play the transcript. Play the transcript.
Let's listen. I don't want to mischaracterize you, so let's listen to what you said.
Play that transcript, Fatty.
All right.
Is you care somebody.
Here we go. Men are always trying to outcompete women so they don't look like lames. So they don't look like they are taking advantage of you liking me. So why not do it? Like, why not actually do it? Like, what stops you from doing it?
So you want everything with nothing back. So
Last week on Ladies First.
Then you cook for because that's all you had.
Jesus, I need
That's
to get
right.
out of here.
You're not entirely
That's
wrong.
right.
You're not entirely wrong. A lot of modern women are taught that behavior is called pick-me behavior. And in order to, and so instead of cultivating that feminine and masculine polarity, they lead with sex, and they use sex as the shortcut to demand attention instead of the back and forth, building that feminine and masculine polarity that actually doesn't require you to like have sex actually. So yeah, I would agree with you, Ali. Most modern women are taught that what you just mentioned makes you a pick-me.
No, Ann, you just did it. Most modern women are horrible. They're horrible to themselves. Forget the man. Take the man out of the equation. They make bad decisions that's hurting themselves. They make bad decisions that hurt their kids. That's why when we come up here, CEO don't go, hey, Ali, fam, I'm looking for myself, fam. I'm looking for happiness, fam. I got to engage in self-love, fam. I got to go to therapy, fam. I got to go find God. Y'all will blame men and project because you don't like yourself and say men don't like you, but they doing everything to have relationships with you. It's women don't like themselves, and then they don't like men and their kids as well too. When we come to you having a responsibility because you're so used to not someone supposedly loving you when you were younger, but as you get older, as soon as you get somebody that loves you and you want, I want to go to y'all mama because a lot of y'all, when we start talking about people's mamas, I think we all come together. Hold on, HQ, please. I didn't interrupt y'all. That's why I let y'all talk. That's why I let y'all talk. When you go to people's mamas, and y'all, and I'm gonna start saying this on most of my shows, women's biggest haters is their mama. When you come around there with a man, when you come around there with a relationship in a family, when she sees your house, when she sees your car, when she see how successful you are, she can't stand being around you. That's why a lot of mamas get distant from their kids. You learn how to hate a woman from your mama because she hates on you more than anybody else. So since you formed a bad relationship with your mama, you'll try to create a healthy one because you might end up resenting yourself. So you have to keep healthy relationships with bad women as well too. That's why you push away from the so-called pick-me's and push away from good men. What we see now is women support bad women, 304s, the LGBT community, but they can't stand good men and good women.
And shout out to Family Business for the $50.
And you know, this is just a part of our community, right? Our women, the women, you know, they just have a lot of baggage, and they don't want to admit it. So they want to project that whatever trauma they call or the negative energy onto their spouse. Man, we got to stop compromising our peace. It just ain't worth it.
Emma fucking in all platforms. So thank you very much for being here. I want to add something before we move topics and we read the super chats. Okay. For now, there's going to be a timer, okay, on the screen that is going to say how many minutes we have to read the super chat, so we actually read them, okay? So just trying to get this figured out with the editor, and then we go from there, and we're going to do all together. Ali still needs a lot of members, okay? It needs 14 members, so please become a member. And the Hamburger Fund already is $50.
And hit the like, y'all. We got,
yes.
Man, we barely got any likes, man. We got 200, 300 people watching. Y'all, please hit the like button. We trying to get y'all endless content. We trying y'all bring y'all amazing and beautiful women who engage, man.
Tom, send me a message so I know that you're safe, right? But the bare minimum. I keep saying this all the time. All the time. This is a personal story. This person probably married. I haven't seen the person in a while. Like, I probably gave rides in 95% of my dates, right? Or catch a Uber lately. Like one thing that marked me was I took this person to a very nice place. We had a lot of fun and all that. She asked me to stop by the supermarket. I waited outside and all that. Before I drop her off, she says, "Thank you very much for treating me kindly. I bought you some candy. Go ahead and eat it while you're driving home." That shit is $1. That shit is $1. Separates her from the other 10 women that the only thing they have is, "Tell me when you get home, send me a message so I know you got home safe," which is nothing. It's fake concern, right? And the thing is, once again, if women are on a giving way or they want men so bad, they are not going to go in a relationship thinking, what can I get from this man? They're going to pour on this man. That's why when you like these bums, these homosexuals, y'all give him your car to drive, you let him sleep in his couch, you let him eat from your motherfucking fridge, you let him eat the kids' snacks, because you are on the giving way. Women love nurture motherfuckers that are broke, that are dusty, that are ever broken wings.
I mean, I thought we didn't know how to treat men.
What?
I thought we didn't know how to treat men.
What'd you say?
You said we doing all these things for these dusties. We doing all this stuff for the dusties, but we don't know how to treat men.
No, but that HQ. That's the point. That's the point. Listen to what you said, right?
What I say?
A woman will take care of a man that is below her. Okay? Put the average man on an established man, and that man gets nothing. As soon as he loses his job, he's done. As soon as his dick is not working, like the.
Now, the caveat to women, will they deal with homosexuals? Yeah. But the caveat is every chance there's argument, she's gonna call him, sit your broke ass down somewhere. It's going to be a lot of verbal attacks on his economic situation. And this is why these relationships don't work either. Yeah, are there men sleeping on women's couches and driving their car stuff? Yeah. But there's a lot of arguments about that because she's always, when you going to get a job? When you going to get your own car? Broke ass. Every chance she gets, she's going to let him know that he's broke. It ain't going to be just, oh, yeah, baby, I love you. I'm going to take care of you. No. She's going to know. She's going to give a timer on him that he needs to get his shit together, or she's going to get rid of him. These things will probably last 6 to 10 months, tops. So that's something, ain't nobody trying to sign up for. And most homosexuals are drug addicts or getting out to paying to something.
The homosexual, the man that you think is below you, gets everything from you. He gets your last dime. You go finance his business. You want to take care of people, but that's the thing. He has to be below you. So if I have a better car than you, if you know I make a bet more money than you, if I'm actually giving you more things that you are giving me back, trying helps. And HQ, we're not saying to cook a $10 bill million. Like, he's trying. Like I said, candy is $1. Let me just say this. Ask to all these men that are getting with women, especially in 2025, ask them, what are they getting that is a show of appreciation and love other than words and shit that literally is platitudes and there's nothing to do with like something practical. Tell me one thing that these women are doing for these men on a regular to show, I like Ali and Candy's melanin like him too. So I'm going to do this little thing that is going to put me far and beyond above this woman because I'm competing with them and I'm going to show Ali that I'm better than them. What are women on the regular doing that right now to get the men they want? Go ahead, HQ. You got it. I'll put it right here. Here you go.
Oh, that's a question you have to ask young ladies. I ain't trying
keep
to
deflecting. You older than them. They used to why you keep deflecting?
I'm going back to the original question. What you said was, you said that women don't know how to keep a man. And yet and still, he just said, we'll do everything for a poor dude that we won't do. So you're saying that we doesn't do it for
no. I'll HQ, please.
So what Fatty's missing is, even though those women may deal with homosexuals, there's a lot of toxicity in that. And that homosexual takes a lot of bashing at his economic situation. She's going to treat him less than. Yeah. It's not going to be a fun ride. Because she's going to want to dominate him and push him to try to be the best version of himself. You need to get a job, nigga. Pay some bills. But typically these guys are in high school or getting out of jail, and they got history together, they grew up together. This is rare. This is not a large population of these guys going around, right? Women are by and large taking care of broke dudes. It's just That's not a very large number. It's very small. It's less than 0.1% of the population. And usually this is in the hood. This is in the hood. And it's a fact. And this is why we have to understand. Yeah, being a homosexual for a man is a total failure. He's been a total failure. And nobody wants to be dealing with any woman that has a man who's a total failure. She's gonna talk bad about him, even in a relationship. And then she's gonna lose respect for him, and then she's gonna get rid of him. So these things are not long-lived. They're very short-term, and they're very toxic. But speaking to the men who are providers and who do have good jobs and do have all the economical efficiencies, the women don't respect them either. The women are leaving everybody. They don't give a fuck. They leaving rich men. They leaving poor men. And it doesn't fucking matter. Their happiness is their currency. Yes, do they desire to have a man buy them nice things? Yeah. But then as soon as they get it, they're like, damn, I didn't do what I thought it was going to do. See, and this is where we have to understand when we make these debates, we have these debates trying to explain to women over and over and over and over and over again about what we want them to be to us. It's a waste of motherfucking time. These women already know what we need. These women are smart. They know what men need to be happy. They just don't give a fuck. So why we keep one and try to convince, why we try to convince these women that, oh, why don't y'all help us? Why don't y'all be with us for who we are and not our money? It's like telling a snake, why are you biting people when you're poisonous? Just these women don't listen. They think with their emotions. A lot of times they do have some logic here and there, but they make a lot of emotional moves. And that's how they're going to keep, they're not going to change. And so we have these conversations with them on these panels and trying to convince them that they need to be feminine, that they need to not worry about a man's money. They need to not be this, be that to men. They need to be this way to men, that way. That's going in one ear out the other. Because women are going to place their happiness above all things else. We're seeing it with the rich man who give, but we just seen Steph Curry's wife come out, right? She has a lifestyle of the dreams. And she wants to get eye fucked by other men so she can be happy. She comes out and says, I want men to desire me. Even though I'm married with 4 kids, I still want them to desire me. I want them to want to fuck me. I want them to want to fuck me. So that's basically what she's saying. What she basically, when you read between the lines, Aisha Curry is saying that I want other niggas to want to fuck me in their mind. I want them to eye fuck me so I can feel good about it. And then turn them down. She resents that Steph Curry is more famous than she is and gets more attention. This is why you cannot compromise your peace. This is why men got to stop compromising their standards. Because no matter how you do it, women are always going to complain. You're never going to be able to make them happy continually. And once again, the divorce rate is going up each year. The women are complaining more and more each time. You've been having these discussions for 5 years, and women are standing 10 toes down on being an independent mindset woman. And that's cool. We ain't going to argue with you. Why are we arguing with them about this? Why are we arguing with them about what they love and what they aspire to be? We have to, as men, if they don't want to do what it takes to make, to come and unite with us in a healthy manner, we have to not settle. We have to make sure that, our lives is in order and keep it in order, and don't let no woman in there and take it out of order. Because it's just not right. If she's not happy, let her stay happy. Let her stay unhappy by herself. Let her complain over there by herself. And you be the best version of yourself for yourself. You be the best version of yourself for your life. You be the best version of who you are so that you can wake up in the morning and be proud and say, you know what? I did it. Because one thing about men, we're valuable with or without women. We are great with or without women. And that's the mindset we got to stand on, because they're standing on it. They're saying they're great with or without men. We have to, I'm not saying we need to compete with men, no. We don't need to compete with women because they're not our competition. But what we do have to do is stand on who we are as men and what we believe in. And quit compromising our peace, our health, our sanity to please who can't be pleased. We got to stop trying to make a circle fit in the motherfucking square. We got to stop. If she's happy at being dysfunctional, let her be that. Away from you, away from us. No. And we got to stand on that. Because the moment you let shit slide, you start letting little shit slide, like small back talk, small remarks, and then you keep, then what's going to happen? It's going to keep pushing the line, and you're going to keep painting the margin, and you're going to let her get away with it. Once the kids come in, now you're like, fuck, I'm stuck. We got to stand 10 toes down on our piece. And if women don't want to get with that, we got to remove them. Listen, the key to you only have one life to live, homie. And the key to having the best life is possible is to remove all negative items as much as you can. We have to build for our future to be healthy, because health is wealth. Health is wealth. Toxicity is death. And there's no way in this world that a person should subject himself to unhealthy relationship or marriage. That's the definition of stupidity. That is sucker shit. You should not be subject to dealing with unhealthy behaviors, especially when you're paying big money. Steph Curry, Barack Obama, Tom Brady. We have to stand on what we believe is right for the best interest of ourselves, because happy husband or happy boyfriend, happy life. These women don't want to be corrected. They don't want to accept constructive criticism. They don't want to accept accountability for their actions. They hate being wrong. And they got an answer for every motherfucking thing, right? They know every motherfucking thing. Well, yo, boo. Look, we love you, boo. But do you, boo? You're not going to come in this house, boo, and make my house an unhappy home. That's what you ain't going to do, boo, boo. You're not going to come here and subject me and hijack my peace, boo. That's what you ain't going to do, boo. You ain't going to come in here and talk crazy to me, boo. No, you're not. No, you're not, boo. No, you're not. No, you're not. You got one time to talk crazy to me and you getting blocked. My fallback game is excellent, boo-boo. Do you, boo-boo, but you ain't going to do it here. If you can't come and unite in peace, I look at you as a thief. I look at a woman who comes in with complaining and trying to create all this hostile environment as the enemy. She has to go. Because my standard, I'm never moving with a woman. I will never live with a woman again. I done did it on multiple occasions. I would never do that shit again. Baby, I love you, but you're going to have your own house and I got my own house. Yes, dear. See, let's have this conversation. I'm not an insecure nigga. I don't need a woman up under me 24/7 to watch her coochie. I don't need to know where she at 24/7 to see, make sure another nigga ain't taking her. Boo-boo, you can have your own house, your own car, pay your own bills. I'm going to have my crib. We can come together on the weekends and have a good time, enjoy each other's company, talk about the good old days. And then at the end, baby, I'll see you next week. I'll give you, now we take my car, I'll give you a ride back home to your house. Or you can spend the night at my house once a week, twice a week. But we're not moving in together. No, sir. Know why? Because you're not compromising my peace. And I like to have the leverage. If she has her own house and I have my own house, that means when she gets out of line, all I got to do is block her and we're done. I ain't got to go through the process of trying to talk her out of getting her own place. We ain't got to get the courts involved. I ain't got to let her live here for a month while she find a new place. Because, boo, if we don't work out, you already got your crib, boo. You already got your crib, boo-boo. Yeah. You're not moving in with me. Now, we can live apart and be happy. Because check what? Check this. I got a daughter. Me and my baby mama been co-parenting for 15 years. And it's been great. Excellent. Because what she used to do, so let me tell y'all a story. So when me and my baby mama first started co-parenting, when my daughter was, 2, 3 years old, she used to always start shit with me. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, look, we ain't together. I come sit. Blah, 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 blah. And you know what I did? I will put her on silence. I did that for 6 months. I blocked her. I would just send money, I would drop money off to my daughter's grandmother to give to her for my daughter. And I went in the blackout. I blocked her out for 6 months. This was like 12 years ago. And guess what? We has never had an argument since. She understands that, when my daughter gets in trouble, we have a healthy co-parenting situation where she says to me what my daughter did, and we agree on the proper punishment. I stopped arguing with my baby mama. I stopped arguing with her. I said, I'm not going to argue with you, boo-boo. You're not going to hijack my peace. 15 years we've been co-parenting. And we ain't argued since those 12 years ago. That's our last argument. After the blackout was over, we've been smooth sailing. We are refusing to argue with women has gotten me a long way. And not only am I refusing to argue with them, if they are combative, I immediately remove them out of my life. Fall back game, boo-boo. I love you from a distance, but you're not going to be up close. Because anybody who compromises my peace and lose the level of respect, I think they're against me. And either you're with me or you're against me. There's no gray area. I don't give a fuck. You better think of me like you think of that job. If you think I'm valuable, you better watch your mouth. You got to watch your mouth, boo-boo. You can't talk to me crazy. You can't call me out my name. You can't be pointing your finger in my face. You better not walk up on me because I'm getting in my car and drive off. Because you don't live with me, so, get in my car and drive off. And you'll never see me again, ever. And if you see me, you'll be dead to me. Because I'm not letting you compromise my peace. I'm not letting you hijack my joy. I don't need a woman to make me happy. I don't need a woman to give me peace. But I don't need her to compromise my peace either. It is not her job to bring peace into my life, but it's also not her job to try to take it either.
One second. I don't want to. It's you. I don't want to.
I'm not going to let y'all stand there and
It's you. One second. One second. Listen to what I said. This man has nothing to give to you other than raw dick and a sandwich and a towel for you to wipe your back when he's done. He doesn't have nothing, so you can't ask for nothing. You actually like him. You like him. You love his smell. You love how he makes you feel.
But where I disagree with Fatty, even though this guy may not have no money and she might be letting him sleep over, use her shower, her car, whatever, she still uses him for his good deed. That nigga got to be excellent in the bedroom. He got to be excellent. But he still need to be looking for a job. She's not going to sit there and stand for him not playing video games all day without talking shit to him. So that's the part that I think Fatty and they're missing. Is providing, if a woman has, and this goes back to Kim Kardashian, right? So if a woman has a lot of money, her parents are rich, and she has money, so she really doesn't care about the man's money too much, yeah, That nigga got to be, he has some good D. And if he has some good D, ooh-wee. But you see what happened to Kanye West. Kim have 3-4 husbands. Same result. Doesn't matter. If you're homosexual, yeah, you get some coochie. If he look good enough, the guy has really good aesthetics, and he got to have excellent D, she gonna keep him around for a little bit. Till she tired of him, she gonna get rid of him. Women don't give a fuck. They'll deal with anybody and leave everybody. They don't love nobody but themselves. Women love themselves more than anybody else. And that's okay, boo. Love yourself. Treat yourself.
You know, like you like that dude. That dude is going to get from you because you know he doesn't have nothing.
So
in
you
return.
saying we
You know-
treat
no,
bad
one
dudes?
second,
We
please.
treat
One
bad
second, please.
dudes better than we treat regular normal dudes. That's what you
No,
saying.
no, please. Listen to what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying.
Listen to what I'm saying. A woman will like a man that has nothing. And cause
He got something. He got that good D. Women like dick, nigga. The fuck? And sometimes if he get lucky and catch her at a weak moment, and he put that D on her, she'll keep him around. He ain't got to have no money.
he has nothing to give you, she will pour from her cup to his cup. As soon as the man gets a giant cup, and now he can pour into you, woman go from mama bear trying to protect and nurture a man to gimme, what can you give me now that you have a cup full? What can you give?
No, I disagree with that. She's not nurturing the nigga who's poor. She used that nigga for that good D. And maybe they got some history, but she's not paying that nigga's bills. A woman, yeah, she'll give him some coochie because women like D. And sometimes, you know, they get caught up in a situationship where they deal with a guy who ain't got much. Maybe got the pen, or maybe he's a gang member and they just attracted to him. But that's short-lived. She's not being mama bear. She's cultivating because she's taking something from him. And that's that sexual performance. Oh, you best believe. That's why she's keeping him around. A woman can get addicted to sex too. Sex can be addicting from one guy. So I don't agree that she's being mama bear. But once again, she's going to call him a broke nigga every chance she get. Every time he try to stand up for herself, he going to say, shut your broke ass up. I'm trying to tell you, the broke. And every time he try to stand up for himself, get your broke ass up out of here. Go find you a place. He going to be packing his shit every 3 days and coming back.
Give me. The average man is the one that is saying, I'm not getting nothing in return because this woman thinks I'm more than her, I have more money than her, I'm taller than her, I'm faster than her, so I'm going to give her a jacket, I'm going to give her this ticket to go to Rio, I'm going to send her money. Woman, as soon as they get a man that is on their level or above, go into the what can I get from you mentality. And this is what I'm telling. If you actually want to get a man of value, not a bum, because y'all women say you don't like bums. So we're talking about men that actually you like that are on your level and above.
But women value dick too, fatty. They value dick. Some women will, depending on the level, they're lower, poor women. They got 3 kids, 4 kids, and they get some good dick. They value that dick. I don't know if they talk about. They do value a high value man. To a woman is a nigga that got good D too. Bottom line.
Instead of you going on the relationship on a what can I get from you, fatty, the best way for you to get the position is what can I help you? How can I help you, fatty?
No, she wants the D. And most time she's letting him use the car because she thinks that ain't going to look for a job. But then that's where the fight comes in because she find out this nigga hanging out with his homeboys or picking up some other chicks. Oh, now it's beef. I let your broke ass use my car to go find a job and you ain't hanging out with your friends. Stupid ass. No. I see it every day. I'm in the hood. I know what's up. if a woman let them guy use their car, a lot of time it's go look for a job. She's like, here, you can use the car, go look for a job. She just ain't letting him use the car because she just let him use the car. She want him to get a job and do better for himself so he can in turn eventually be a provider for her, or at least help with these bills. And this is where the argument goes back and forth, and she ends up leaving him because she was like, oh, this nigga ain't shit. All this nigga won't do is lay around and do it. Women may deal with a homosexual if he got good D and look good. They do 6 to 10 months, tops. 6 to 10 months. Not another motherfucking month. After 10 months, he's out of there. Or she's out of there. She's gonna get him up out of there. Because women, they once they get enough of his D and they feel like, okay, he can't give me no more, they can still get rid of him. Women, they value good D. And sometimes they'll settle for a guy who's giving them good D, but they never make him her husband. They never marry them. And they won't have no long-term relationship.
How can I make your life easier? How can I do some things to make your day a little bit brighter? What can I do that you like that we can do together? And most of these women never do it, or they do it for a second until they get the relationship. And as soon as you give the commitment, as soon as you like them more, they like you, it's over. It's the flip-flop. I like you more. Now I'm in love with you. Now all of a sudden, I'm doing again things for you instead of you doing things for me, because now you got me. There's nothing we can do anymore. So you are going to tell me, HQ, where am I lying? Everybody can touch on this situation.
I don't know whether it's a lie or not. I don't know whether it's a lie or not. That's you're talking about anecdotal individual things, because most women are not like that. Most women are not. Most women are not.
Like y'all just said that you fuck more men than you cook for them.
That don't mean I didn't care about the person.
So what?
They say you didn't care. No. They say you didn't care. No, ma'am. Y'all said y'all had sex with the man you didn't care about. You said it too. And the man you cared about, you cooked for. You said
say anything about having sex with a man I didn't care about.
So let's clarify it even more. When we start asking and interviewing sisters on their relationships, majority of the time they say they were cheaters, abusers, and they was dogs. I go, well, what happened with a good man? Oh, well, we just grew apart. We didn't get along. Somehow the good man you can't maintain. So when we ask you about the bad guy, you can stay in a toxic relationship for 5 to 10 years with the bad guy. But when we talk about the good guy, you can't stay in a relationship for 1 year because now you have to be a woman for him. The man that you supposedly like, I don't agree with Fatty that you like the man. I believe you control the man because those men need you and they're desperate. So woman to stay with a man who need her because she controls that man. Soon as he starts feeling himself or he demonstrates to you exactly who you knew who he was, now you say he was an asshole, he was a toxic man and no good man. So then we go, damn, where are all the good men then? Those 1-2 good men you talk about, you can't never keep them because you have to be on his page and you don't want to be a woman that changes for a man that you love. You want the man to change for you. So you.
Now, I don't necessarily think it's a good man. I don't think women look for good men. Or what I think what we're missing is, what do women consider a good man? Right? And the way us men look at a good man is different the way women look at good men. Men look at a good man who stands on principle, has a job, is provided, all those things, right? It ain't cheating, all that shit. Women don't look at it that way. Women look at a good man as a man that listens to them and caters to them. That's what they look at as a good man. That's why they chase rappers, right? They're trying to get, because that's what they consider good men. The numbers don't lie. More women chase rappers than they do average men. They chase rappers more than they chase lawyers, doctors.
Control. That's the problem we're talking about. So you also admitted it. You had sex with the man you didn't care about more than you had sex with, gave peace and cooking to the man you cared about. So that's all we're trying to demonstrate. Majority of men you mistreat. It's a small minority of men you will take care of that you don't even like just so you can be in control. It's just like a woman who buy her kids toys but neglect them. So they'll say that she's a good mom. They'll buy them toys, take them to wherever they want to go to, put a laptop in front of their face so they can get out their face. And they go place, oh, I got a good mama. But she knows she's not a good mom and the kids know she's not a good mom. She's just buying it to save face so she looks like a good mom.
Again, that's true, but I don't know if it tells the whole story. That is true what you're talking about. So at first I want to acknowledge the truth in what you and Fatty are saying, because it's true. Women have become transactional. And even further, there is this imbalance in relationships where women would rather have control than to reciprocate in feminine energy, which requires submission. All those things are true. But that also implies that all men are providers, right? That also implies that all men are good, showing up and getting the short end of the stick. And it also implies that all women are these lazy.
No, you don't.
The majority of men.
And we said
But
majority. We never said no.
Okay,
and you going? If you going and don't do it.
Okay, I'm trying to correct. I'm self-correcting.
You know,
I'm
there are
setting-
great women out
I'm
there.
saying
We said we know there are
most
bad men out
women
there.
based off of-
So just get that out.
I am
Get that out.
self-creating, Ali. I'm self-correcting. So I'm saying, okay, maybe not all, but most women are also looking for some type of benefit, and I agree. But the argument is that's only half of the story. The other half of the story is there are relationships where they're rooted in polarity, where women reciprocate not with buying him a gift back, but they do match the energy, right? So Fatty gave the example of the woman who gave him the candy, right? She matched his energy. She showcased something to him as a way to show appreciation. And that's what I'm saying is the other side that you're not acknowledging.
So see, no, Fatty. Real quick, Fatty, real quick.
That's fine.
CEO, Ali, and Fatty will never tell you there's not good women out there. Will never tell you there's not women that reciprocate. Will never tell women there's not.
I'm saying ain't no good women out there. Choose your poison. I'm saying pick your poison. Ain't nobody perfect. If you're going to get a woman, you got to pick what badge you're going to accept. All of them going to have something wrong with them. But you're just trying to pick the one that don't compromise your peace. If you do pick one. My advice is keep them in rotation. Don't overly commit. And don't overly submit. Keep a healthy line between dating, situationship, and that's where you keep, you get what you want and you don't have to deal with all the baggage. That's my advice. But if you can't help yourself and you find a woman that you're so much into and you got to go after her, right? Then make sure that she does not compromise your peace. And you need to stand on whatever it is you stand on. That means you need to tell her. And the moment she shows any signs of, but she will, that something that you can't deal with, then you have to evaluate. And I'm not saying leave her, because you might like her. But you need to slot her as a good friend with benefits. And I think you have a more successful and more manageable situation. Because if you overly commit, make her your girl and move her in and do all this shit, this is where the problems start spilling out. Because now you got to come home and do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to wonder why you're arguing about the dumbest shit. When if you keep them in friends with benefits, you then leave yourself room to eject with very little talking, very little things you have to do. All you have to do is hit the button, bing. That's why you don't overly commit to these women. That's my opinion. But if you're going to overly commit, which I strongly am against, but hey, I'm not going to judge it. It is what it is. If you overly commit, make sure that your peace is not compromised, and you need to understand that she's with you or against you. Because if you see any red flags out there that's that could be problematic, it's okay. You can keep her, but keep her in a certain role. See, this is what I think men need to master in the 2025 is learning how to keep a woman in a winning position so that you guys don't explode. See? And how you do that? Once again, by not overcommitting. Y'all can keep it friends with benefits. Y'all can keep it like that and work it out like that. And that gives you your space and room to keep your peace. And it gives her space and room to keep her peace. But a lot of times men, what they do is they see the red flag, they see it, they're like, and then they overly commit anyway because they want to lock the coochie down, understandably. But with this comes a lot of broken relationships, a lot of divorces. See, the numbers don't lie, homie. You see what Ruthless is telling you? Just pay attention. We got the information. Do your research. Look how many relationships are coming apart every day. Pay attention. Listen, the women are telling you how they are. And men, well, all we got to do is adapt, meaning, and my opinion is, men should not overly commit to these women. That means putting a ring on it, that's a big overcommitment. I'm saying friends with benefits is optimal. I think friends with benefits is optimal. Because girlfriend and boyfriend is pretty much marriage. If the woman is displaying behaviors that are not conducive to a healthy relationship, you keep her in friends with benefits. Keep it short and simple. Make it easy for yourself. We don't have to overly commit. For what? Why are we overly committing so fast? If she gonna leave, she gonna leave now, she gonna leave later, whatever. But remember, any woman is replaceable. Just like she thinks she can replace you, women think men are replaceable. Yeah, a woman look at you and she's like, okay, I'll fuck with him, but he's expendable if he doesn't do like I say or what I think is good for me. Or we need to have the same attitude. When we're dealing with a woman, we need to understand that she's replaceable. She's expendable. If she does not meet our standards. And this is the way we have to move in 2025. Quit overly committing to these women and giving them everything. Let your guards down. Because the moment you let your guards down, that's the moment they move on you. And now your heart is subject to being cracked in pieces.
What you just did was deflected and start talking about the women who reciprocate. That's not who we're talking about. We know there's phenomenal women out there.
I'm saying I'm adding more.
That's not the whole story. So let's stay on the majority of women who are mistreating their man and benefiting from the man but won't reciprocate. Please don't go to. I'm gonna say this too.
I'm just saying in that case.
Hold on. Thank you for the great women, phenomenal women out there that are catering and supporting their men and their family. When we have this show, it's to bring together the men and women where we have the disconnect of the majority of the women who not treating their men well and the majority of men who are trying. And we'll talk about the men who are toxic as well too. We know there are bad men out there, but we're addressing the fact that majority of sisters on here have options and there's nothing most men wouldn't do for any of you. You know that. But if you bring and we switch the roles and ask what women will do for most men, they'll say they're not going to be a slave, they're not going to be a maid, and they're not going to be oppressed, and they're not going to be a traditional woman while they're asking for a traditional man. And so let's be consistent. And what makes this worse is y'all don't like when men objectify y'all to cooking and cleaning about sex, but you're still objectifying men to being protectors and providers. But now that you protect and provide now, shouldn't all you want from a man is money? Love? Now that we both protect and provide, it seems like all you want from a man is love, but you're still asking him to provide 100% or you rather be by yourself if you have to go 50-50. And I'm not talking about y'all on the panel, but majority of sisters ain't cooperating or submit to a man unless he pays 100%, and they'll say it out their mouth. So now that you provide and support for yourself, why can't most women love a man?
I think feminism has disempowered women into accepting that. So I think naturally we want to, but I also think there are a lot of us who fall victim to the culture.
So
you don't want to love a man.
I just wanted to say this, and it's not polarity, it's not reciprocity, it's trying. I spent $400 on that bitch. I love her. Sorry, she's not a bitch. She's a great. Actually, she's a dope friend, right? Is the gesture? Because most people, because when people listen to what you are saying, they think if Ferry gives 5, I have to give 2, right? Let me give you an example.
No,
right? One second, please. No, 1 second, because this is a conversation I have to have even with family, right? For example, I said to my brother, "Hey, brother, we're going to Vegas, right? In September. We're going to have fun. We're going to Vegas. All these, right?" And the first thing he had to think about it was, how can I match it? And I said, you don't have to match nothing. If I'm older and I have a little bit more money, right? You don't have to match dollar for dollar. You just have to show that you care. And you know what happened? He got me some motherfucking soccer tickets. I haven't saw a soccer game in 7 years. We went to watch the national team on one of the biggest soccer stadiums. You see what I'm saying? It's just the gesture. It matters. It's little. But then that's the point. Is
women don't give a fuck about that shit. Women don't give a fuck about gestures, and appreciation. They don't give a fuck about that shit. Pay them bills, it's that coochie, nigga. That's all they care about. And that's okay. Listen, boo, we know how you are. We know you're a selfish person. We know you love yourself more than anybody else. We know that you are easily influenced. We know that your value is in your beauty, not your duty. We know that. We know that you don't really care about us like that. That you don't want to go above and beyond us like that. We know that. We know that you don't see us as important enough to do nice things for us. We know that you don't really want to spend your money on us. We know that. And we're not even asking you to do that. But what we are suggesting that, you know, you do the free shit, and that's not compromise our peace. Either you're with us or you're against us. A house divided can't stand. And it's very important that us men recognize that women are liabilities, not wealth. That you get a woman, get a relationship, she's a bill. Let's keep it real. She's a bill. And all she does is complain. A lot of times she complains. She complains about you. She complains about everything else. She complains. She's not even happy with herself. Oh, I want new titties. I don't like my titties. I don't like my lips. So she's going out and get lip fillers. She's not even happy with herself. She complains about everything. She ain't never happy. She ain't even happy with the things she got for herself. She bought the makeup. She got the fake eyelashes. She don't like the way they don't like them. So if a woman can't make herself happy, you definitely can't make her happy. But that does not give her right to be disrespectful either. That does not give her right to be vulgar and unhinged. That does not give her right to put her hands on nobody. That doesn't give her right to be talking smart and name calling people. That does not give her a right to be threatening people and lying on people. That does not give her a right to do that. We know you savage, boo. We know you gangster, boo. And we got to recognize this shit. We recognize you. We recognize that you don't give a fuck about us for real. For real, for real. For real, for women don't even, be honest, if you really look at it, women really don't fuck with us like that. They fuck with us for what they can get from us. But outside of what they can get from us, women don't really rock with us like that. They really don't. If they did, the divorce rate wouldn't be where it's at. All the complaints wouldn't be where they at. Queenmaker, Cynthia G, these women wouldn't exist if they really rocked with men. But if we look at the overall arching point, if we really look at it, a woman only give with a man to take, not to give. And that's the bottom line. So ain't nothing wrong with keeping them in friends with benefits. Nothing wrong with that. And if you really want to keep it real, it's better to buy the pussy up the front than to try to deal with all this baggage shit. All that baggage, all that stuff ain't worth the motherfucking time. Because they end up leaving anyway. Either if they don't leave, they stay, and if they stay, they make the happy home a living hell. They make you not want to come home. Or when you get home, you're like, damn, what's next? So what good are they? What's next? Why is she arguing? What's she nagging about today? What's she complaining about today? Why can't I have no peace in my home? I've been working all day. Why I got to come home and listen to her complain about some shit she can take care of? So this is why you got to stand, as men, gentlemen, we got to stand on what we stand on. And we got to start putting ourselves first. We got to start being selfish. We got to. They don't respect us. Because all the men up here simping and acquiescing to these women, they're losing. They're down bad. The simps are down bad. Because these women, they just don't want. They just don't give a fuck. And you can do all that simping you want, you can do all that, and they're still leaving. Thank you for coming to the show. Hit the like button. Show niggas some love. Can y'all hit the like button for me? Let's see where my likes is at. Let's see where my likes is at. Probably not that many. Let me see where my likes is at. See where my likes is at. 7 likes. Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Thank y'all for coming to the stream. And Rufus is out.